So this is the CCTST, which is a cranial CT scoring tool. It's based on 9 categories, which I would show you guys, and it's also based on an 8-point maximum system. So what it just says is, if a trauma patient comes in and you suspect that the patient has traumatic brain injury, all you have to do is get the initial head CT, count the amount of findings in the initial head CT, and just add them up. And by you adding them up based on the categories of the summation, you can say, hey, I think that based on this is the mortality, this is the morbidity, this is the percentage of patients that are going to go to the ICU. Step down, this is the percentage of patients that are going to be going home, or those that are going to be staying. Now you have to take into consideration that this is just based on all the patients that are going to be undergoing neurosurgical intervention. Because what happens oftentimes is that when a patient has a traumatic brain injury and the patient needs an operation, the first thing the family walks up to you as the surgeon or the person in charge, they say, Doc, what's the prognosis?
Right.
Is my son, is my daughter, is my grandma going to live? And with this score, you can help say, well, this is what I think is going to happen. Obviously, it's in its preliminary stages, but we're very hopeful that more will come from this. There are 9 different categories we're looking for: epidural, subdural, subarachnoid, intraventricular, skull fracture, midline shift, brain edema, external facial trauma, or pneumocephalus. So all those 9 categories, and of note, no category gets a duplication. Let's say if you've got 2 subdurals, you only get 1 point for that. If you've got 2 subarachnoids, you only get 1 point for that. So there's no duplication rule.
And then the 9th category.
Yes, is the external facial trauma, which is adopted from AIS head, because AIS head was based from head to chin in terms of the external face. So we adopted that also into our CCTST scoring tool. This was a retrospective administrative study, and this was a controlled study, which we match our subjects to a controls. That means those that were undergoing neurosurgical intervention to those that were not undergoing neurosurgical intervention. And we match all of these in terms of age, gender, GCS, AIS head, ISS, as well as also, time spent in trauma bay, hospital length of stay. So when we matched our controls and we looked at these, we saw that besides GCS and AIS head also being an independent predictor of mortality, we also saw that CCTST was as good of a good predictor of mortality as compared to GCS and AIS head. We saw that CCTST was the only independent predictor for undergoing neurosurgical intervention, making this tool a very valuable tool to have in the future to come. What we need is more prospective validations. What we also need is more multi-institutional collaborations, because this was a single center study, so we need more data collection. We need more power, because we had a total of 620 patients, 310 in each group. So hopefully with the future to come and with more collaboration, we can better validate the scoring system.